Good morning. Happy Sunday. I hope the sound is okay. And I know the vision's not great, but I'm coming to you from my laptop in a very echoey room. Because look, normally on a Sunday morning after the live, hubby and I, if he's off, go for a walk. Today we're going for a really, really long drive. We are heading to Perth, which is about a 16-hour drive because we live in the Pilbara in the north of Western Australia. And we are off to Perth because in 2 weeks we fly out to Bangkok to live. So anyone that's followed me for a while, you'll know this has been in the planning for a really long time. And 4 years, in fact, since we first hatched this scheme, this idea. And it's finally happened. So the first step was packing down from up here. And then we've got 2 weeks in Perth to get all our stuff together and get rid of the last of our stuff. You've got no idea how packed our car is. Ollie's just taken a final load to the tip. Thank God for a free rubbish dump up here. Because literally, if he didn't take stuff to the tip this morning, we wouldn't fit in the car. So it's quite the journey there. So, so what can you expect? Okay, so the next couple of weeks, I'll still do my lives from wherever I am in Perth. So that's normal, and we will have normal topics. And this week, I've got a video showing you what I'm taking with me as my lipedema survival kit. I have very specifically picked out and purchased certain items, including compressions and masks and different things. So that video will drop on Wednesday night, my time. And after that, we've got a few more weeks of normal videos. And just to give me time to get over there, get a condo, get set up, get settled, all that kind of thing. And then the content will be normal, like it's still me trying to figure out how to reverse or to not progress lipedema in any way, shape or form, but from a new country. So there'll be all kinds of challenges there with cultural changes, stressful changes. And stress is one of the biggest heavy hitters for our lipedema and our hormones. And I was saying to Ollie this morning, he was really like getting stressed, and he goes, "Oh, this is a bit stressful." And I said, "Yeah, but you know what? Even if somebody came in and did it all for us, it would still be stressful. It's a stressful thing to move to a different country, right?" So it's going to be stressful, and the food will be different. It's the land of the seed oil. Everything's deep fried. Everything has MSG dumped onto it, and all kinds of things that I'm going to need to navigate. So that's the kind of stuff I will still bring you. I have got some more interviews lined up with lipedema people, which I will interview once I get over there. So yeah, same, but different. Same, still finding the simple, easy ways that we can help ourselves with lipedema, and how I'm helping myself with lipedema, and just navigating it from a different perspective, which is really good. And I'm really kind of hoping to find some really weird Eastern modalities that maybe none of us have ever heard of before, witch doctors and all kinds of, like, I have no idea what I'm going to find. So that's kind of where I'll be heading with trying to find different things. I'll also be having further surgeries. There'll be a lot coming up for me personally for the next year, but that's what this channel's about, is me tracking my journey and finding out as much as I can moving forward. So yeah, it's I'm actually really shocked that we've finally made it here after 2 years of 4 years, sorry, of planning and thinking, and my hair's dropping out in the droves because that's stress. But I'm okay, because I know that it will come back once we move and get settled. And the first 2 weeks over there, in case you're wondering, we've got our visas sorted. We are going over on a retirement visa. So we have the first 2 weeks that we're there, we're staying in a hotel. That gives us 2 weeks to find a condo. And apartments and condos over there are like super easy. It's not like in the Western world where your entire background gets checked out. It's like, if you want it, you pay your deposit and it's yours kind of thing. So we should be able to find one fairly swiftly. We know the areas we want to live in. We have, watched videos on this on YouTube every night for the last 4 years. So we pretty much know where we want to be. We've got a couple of different suburbs that we've picked out, and we'll just go looking. And in the meantime, we have to set up a bank account in Thailand because you can't get your retirement visa without a bank account over there. So there's going to be lots of tricky, stressful moments, least of which is navigating our way around the city, right? So as excited as we are, we know it's not going to be rainbows and unicorns for those first few weeks. It's going to be freak out city, but that's okay. That's part of the adventure, right? So that's my update. It's nothing big, or there's not much more to share in so much as, food. The last couple of days we've had no fridge. I've eaten absolute crap, and because of it I feel like crap. It's just such a reminder of how food plays such a big role for me personally in how I feel. So it's been, mind you, my whole body hurts anyway from cleaning, scrubbing walls and that kind of thing. So add the crappy food that, was easy to put in the oven. Didn't help matters at all. So luckily, in between one hotel stay, we've got 3 hotel stays in Perth, and the rest is at Ollie's mum's place. And so at least in between, only one of those hotels can we not cook in. So I'll be buying steak and hitting up as much meat as I can in between those times. But yeah, overall, the stresses, moving house, let alone moving countries, is on that. Have you ever seen that list of the top stresses in our, death, divorce? Like moving house is up there in the top 5, I think. So let alone moving countries. So as exciting as it is, we're we're struggling a little bit with the realities of it, but that's okay. If any of you have moved countries and you got any tips for me with food, stress, anything, yes, very stressful. So if any of you have got any tips for me, please, knowing that it's going to be all over the place for me. But yeah, for you, it's just going to be one Bangkok video on Wednesday of the things that I've packed. And the rest is sort of same. Oh, I do have a compression video coming up of me actually trying on my Fanker compressions. I literally filmed myself putting them on. That was fun. So that's coming up for you too. So you've got, a few before I hit the ground running in Bangkok and start taking you on the road to see what kind of food I can find there and how we're eating and the cost of groceries. I'm so excited to buy eggs over there. So excited because it's going to be so much cheaper than here. That's going to be like my big hunt, right, is the cost of eggs. So that is it. You can see the last of our bags and everything ready to go in the car, and as soon as Ollie gets back from the tip. And it's literally, I kid you not, going to be Macca's for breakfast this morning on our way out of town. It is what it is, right? And this is sort of something that I always talk about. The good thing about carnivore is literally as soon as you can, the next meal, you pick it back up. It's just so easy to step back into, oh, awesome, I'm somewhere I can cook a steak or, buy some roast meat or something like that, because I'm telling you now on the 16-hour drive we're about to hit, I don't think any of the roadhouses have anything decent that I remember. We've done this trip many times, but I don't think they've got anything decent. It's all deep fried, bread, toasties, all those sorts of things, right? So 2 Angus meat patties. Oh, yeah. When I say Macca's, yeah. It's still not ideal, but meat patties, excellent. And a coffee. I'll be getting a coffee for sure because that's where we're at. But God, the vision is shocking on this old laptop. A new laptop. We've got 2 weeks in Perth where I get a new work laptop, and so this one's 7 or 8 years old. If being a MacBook, they last a really long time. But we have got a bunch of jobs to do in Perth. Luckily for us, our car is already sold. Thank you, Lisa. And what else are we got to do? We need a long sleeve shirt each. Like there's just sort of random things that we need to take, but we're taking with us 2 suitcases and 1 duffel bag. So that is, what we've got to get our whole life down to. And we have literally sold everything. Like even this week, we put up on Marketplace the rest of all the kitchen stuff. And the guy that bought our dishwasher came back and bought all our kitchen stuff. So the only thing we got left with was 2 squash rackets, and they were really expensive, so we didn't want to put a real cheap price on them, but they'll go down and stay in our son's shed. So we have kept a few like sentimental items in our son's shed down in Perth, which we took down in March. But everything else we've sold. And let me tell you, when you look at all the things that you collect over the years that you think are so important to buy at the time, and it's so easy to get rid of, at the end of the day, it's quite, it blew my mind. I'm not a knick-knack person. My mother knows this. I'm still trying to get her to get rid of my knick-knacks, my ceramics from when I was 10. But I'm not a knick-knack person, and I have found how many things that I've still purchased that I'm like, why did I buy that? I know that costs like $100 or $50 or, these sorts of things. And and the last few weeks living off just a cheap pot on the stove and in the oven, it's been fine. Like it's been fine. So it really does help to clear space in your brain when you don't have much stuff, right? And my husband likes stuff, but I feel really, really good about the fact that we've pretty much got no stuff left apart from some sentimental items in our son's shed, and the rest is gone. And instead, we're going on an adventure of a lifetime, because we don't actually know, just a heads up, we don't know if Thailand's our forever place. And the only reason, I skipped over why we're doing this. You may not know why we're doing this. So we are moving because we are 53. Hubby's 53, I'm 54. And if we want to retire, well, he retires, I don't, I'll always still do my stuff, then we have to live in Asia, because that's the only place you can afford to retire and fund ourselves until we're 60 and our superannuation kicks in. So our 401k, your Roth, whatever you call it in your country, it's the only way we can afford to do it. So that's why we're doing it. People have said to me, how can you afford to do that? And I'm like, no, that's why we're doing it, because we can afford to do that. He couldn't afford to quit work if we lived in Australia. Not a chance. We would have to stay here and he would have to continue working 12-hour days for another 7 years. So by going to Asia, and we're starting with Thailand, and Bangkok specifically is our first port of call, but we may end up in Malaysia. We may end up in Cambodia. Cambodia's got really easy visas. You literally pay at the travel agent to stay for a year. It's like $500 to stay for the year as your visa. It's super cheap, super easy. And it's safe. It's not what people think. It is actually perfectly safe. And Malaysia's an option. And worst case scenario for us is Bali. We go to Bali almost every year for 4 weeks. So we know we love Bali, but it's probably a little bit boring for us at the moment. But in 4 or 5 years, we might go, you know what, that's what we want. So that's added to the stress load. We have no idea where we want to be or where we're going to settle. So that's the adventure and the stress of like, let's just go and find out. So I will be, as I said, this is still going to be about lipedema life. but that's why it's lipedema life. It's everything about my life and massive changes and cortisol swings and new foods and navigating all of that kind of thing. Wearing compressions in the heat. Now, I bought my compressions and I've worn them around here and I love them. However, can I wear them in the stinking heat of Bangkok? Who knows? So there's all that kind of thing for me to figure out. So that's it for me. I'm not going to say we're off for a walk because we're not. We're off for a really, really, really long drive. And thanks for watching, whoever's sitting there watching. And again, if you've got any tips for me moving countries and navigating this, I'm all ears, because I don't for a second think this is going to be easy. It's going to be fun, but it's going to be hard. So that's all good. I'm up for the adventure. I'm always up for an adventure. I'm always up to try new things. So the one that's going to struggle is hubby. But we'll see how we go. All right. I am going to head off and have a great week. And I will see you next Sunday. Thank you, Mum. And I will see you next Sunday from Perth. And next Sunday is my son's birthday. So it just so happens we get to spend his birthday with him before we leave, which is awesome. So I will see you next Sunday morning, and enjoy my Bangkok Survival Lipedema Kit, Bangkok Lipedema Survival Kit, coming to you this Wednesday. And I will see you all next Sunday. Bye.